Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Closing time is now coming early for Grand Forks bars and restaurants. There are 577 active coronavirus cases in the county. That's the highest in the state. In an effort to slow the spread, Mayor Brandon Bocinski issued an emergency declaration. Anyone with a liquor license will close at 11 p.m. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie hears from the people of Grand Forks.
People living in Grand Forks looking to spend a late night at one of the city's popular bars and dives are looking elsewhere.
When they heard they were going to shut down early in Grand Forks, we decided to just go down to Fargo. We had some friends down there.
Last call will now come earlier in Grand Forks bars. The decision coming after a meeting between Mayor Brandon Bocinski and the White House Coronavirus Response Coordinator. The emergency declaration says bars, restaurants, and off sale must close daily at 11 p.m. The goal? Stop coronavirus by preventing large gatherings.
I get the concept and where they're coming from, but at the end of the day, if people want to get together, they're going to get together.
The majority of the county's case numbers are coming from young adults.
As far as everything we've had to go through this year with COVID, this is honestly probably the easiest thing we've had to go through.
Joe Black's typically closes at 2 in the morning, 7 days a week. Although Schneider says he doesn't like having to cut back hours, he supports the mayor's decision. Other businesses like Rumor Sports Bar and Grill saying they'll do their part.
I kind of expected something to happen just because of the uptick in cases. I was pretty happy that they didn't just close us down again.
Mayor Bocinski says it wasn't an easy decision. With the alarmingly high case numbers, he says we need to do something short term to help the long term. In Grand Forks, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
For more information on Mayor Bocinski's decision, download the VNL News app. Let's take a look at the COVID-19 numbers. Minnesota is reporting 934 confirmed cases of COVID-19 today, along with 2 new deaths linked to the illness. 1,816 deaths have been attributed to the disease. In North Dakota, there are 219 new cases in the state, along with 1 new death. The death toll is at 145, the daily positivity rate today jumping to 5.8%. The number of coronavirus cases in the United States tops 6 million, according to NBC News numbers. As of this afternoon, there were more than 15,400 new cases in the U.S. It took just 22 days to get from 5 million to 6 million cases. States with the highest numbers are California, with more than 702,000, Texas, with more than 631,000, and Florida with more than 621,000. There are still more questions than answers surrounding a fatal shooting at a Fargo apartment complex. It has been nearly 48 hours since the police responded to the call of gunshots. Valley News Team's Devin Fry was at the scene of the shooting and brings us more.
Scary, very scary.
Residents in one South Fargo neighborhood are still looking for answers after a late-night shooting on Friday. At this point, we still don't have any answers for many aspects of the shooting. No official information has been released on what led up to it, nor is anyone in custody for the crime. What we do know about the situation is that police responded to reports of multiple gunshots a little bit before 10:30 Friday night at Cheyenne Estates on 44th Street South. When they arrived, they found a man with an apparent gunshot wound. He was taken to a local hospital to be treated, but was later pronounced dead. No other information on the incident has been made available at this time. We contacted the Fargo Police Department this afternoon, and there were no new updates on the situation. As you can see behind me here, balloons and flowers have been laid out at the garage where the victim's body was found. Now at this point, police have not released the identity of the victim, but they do say that that is coming tomorrow. So for right now, the victim is unknown. Around that memorial are numerous bullet holes which can be found on either side of and above the garage. When news of the shooting broke, many on social media said that this neighborhood has a history of problems, raising concerns for safety. But some who live close to where the shooting occurred don't feel very concerned.
I feel safe. I've lived here all my life, but I've heard that it is dangerous.
Fargo Police Department is continuing to investigate this shooting and need the public's help. Anyone who knows anything about the incident is urged to contact their tip line with any information. Reporting from Fargo, Devin Fry, Valley News Live.
As Devin said, Fargo police have insisted that anyone with information should contact their tip line at 701-241-5777. A West Fargo man was flown to Sanford Hospital after a farming accident west of Cooperstown. Officials say around 10 a.m., 32-year-old Ryan Hoverson and one other man were working on a fence. The tractor parking brake malfunctioned, causing the tractor to run over Hoverson. He was taken to the hospital and to be treated for his injuries. Crews are still searching for a 6-year-old Minnesota child who went under the water Saturday evening and never resurfaced. According to the Hennepin County Sheriff, officials responded to Boom Island Park shortly before 6:30. They say the child was part of a group of 5 children. Some of them went into the water, including 3 who went in too deep and started to struggle. An adult pulled 2 of the children from the water, but 1 is still missing. Water Patrol is using divers and underwater cameras to search the river. Sanford Health is offering flu vaccines early this year, in part to combat a possible shortage in rapid antigen tests. These tests can detect respiratory infections such as RSV, influenza A and B, and SARS-CoV-2. However, hospital staff say they're unsure how many test kits they'll receive. If testing supplies becomes limited, doctors say they'll be forced to decide who and how to test.
I think the general public ought to know that we're gearing up as well as we can. But that only goes so far if everybody sort of drops their guard.
Dr. Mateo says getting a flu vaccine early will help them with test distribution by keeping more people healthy. He says getting an early vaccine might mean it won't last through flu season, but he says you can get revaccinated without any risks. Sanford Health will start offering flu vaccines on September 15th. The North Dakota Department of Environmental Quality is continuing to celebrate Earth Day's 50th anniversary year, focusing on waste reduction by announcing the second round of its North Dakota Stewards Initiative. From September 1st through the 15th, the department is encouraging state residents to log activities that reduce waste and save energy. Participants keep a daily log of their environmental savings, which will then be calculated by the department. The top 3 people who have saved the most by September 15th will receive awards. The Republican National Convention has wrapped up, but one North Dakota attendee says the past week has been an unforgettable one. On Monday, delegates and committee members traveled down to Charlotte, North Carolina to begin the business portion of the convention and to vote to renominate President Donald Trump. Lori Hines began her day as a guest and ended it as North Dakota's Republican National Committee woman.
I was very fired up to get involved. I've always wanted to do some sort of public service, but this was my opportunity to not only do public service for my state, but also for my country at the same time.
Hines is now one out of 168 members of the Republican National Committee.